And my father decided to go see his parents up in Katy, in South Armagh. And if you know that part of the country, you're coming up through Dundalk and you get to the roundabout at the top of the town. And if you go to the right, you're going to go to Carlingford and Greenore. And if you go to the left, you'll go into Castleblaney in Monaghan. If you go straight on, you'll go into Belfast. And that's the way he went. And you get just past the roundabout there, and you come to Ravensdale, and you had to stop, and that was the Irish Army. You had to tell them where you were going and what you were doing. And then you drive about 2 miles down the road to Jonesboro, and you'd get stopped again, and that was the British Army. And they were asking you the same questions. Where are you going? What you're doing? My father was driving on that road, the old M1, and in that space they used to call no man's land, he was driving along, and it struck him. This part of the world that nobody accepted or wanted. And he's driving, and there on the side of the road, he saw an old woman, and she had a cow on a leash. It struck him how in good times Ireland is always known as a beautiful young woman, like Kathleen O'Houlihan that Yeats wrote about. Or in bad times, she's known as an ugly old woman like the Hag of Bear. My father saw it both ways. He said, she's a beautiful old woman who's been through so much. And by the time he got to Katy, 40 minutes later, he had this song written in his head. And a year later, he had recorded it with the Clancy brothers, and he left the band in 1969, in July. And in August of 1969, if you remember, the Battle of the Bogside had happened, and the people in Derry decided to throw the Free Derry Fleadh because they knew bad times were coming. And they asked the Dubliners to close the Saturday night, and they asked my father to close the Sunday night. He said, of course I'll be there. And on the Friday before the show, my father was sitting at home, and the phone rang, and my mother answered, hello, is this Tommy Makem's house? It is. Could I speak to Tommy Makem? You can. And my father says, hello. And the voice on the other end said, if you step 1 foot on that stage, you're going to get a bullet in the head. Well, he went, and he played the gig. My mother wasn't happy about it, but he didn't get a bullet in the head. And he said that's when he knew this song was more than just a song. He said he sang it, and the energy went out in the audience, and it came back. And the hairs stood up on his arms. If I can get through it, we'll do it. What did I have? Said the fine old woman. What did I have? This proud old woman did say, I have 4 green fields, each one was a jewel, but strangers came and tried to take them from me. I had 5 strong sons. They fought to save my jewels. They fought and died. And that was my grief, said she. Long time ago, said the fine old woman. Long time ago, this proud old woman did say there was war and death, plundering and pillage, my children starved by mountain, valley, and sea, and their wailing cries, they shook the very heavens. My 4 green fields ran red with their blood, said she. What have I now? Said the fine old woman. What have I now? This proud old woman did say, I have 4 green fields. One of them's in bondage, in strangers' hands, who tried to take them from me. But my sons have sons as brave as were their fathers. My 4th green field will bloom once again.